Hello, everyone. Welcome to CXOTV's special segment on driving business with technology at its core while emphasizing the critical importance of cybersecurity in the ever-evolving business landscape. I'm pleased to introduce our distinguished guest, Mr. Ian Keller, Global Information Technology Security Expert. It's an honor to have Mr. Ian Keller with us today. With his extensive experience and expertise, Mr. Keller has been at the forefront of global cybersecurity initiatives, ensuring the protection of critical business assets in the digital age. Mr. Keller, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
So, in the light of cyber risk increasing, cyber threats proliferating, and the changing operating environment, it is more critical than ever for organizations to build and optimize a cybersecurity program. It becomes even more important to gain stakeholder and shareholder buy-in. As technology continues to drive business innovation, how do you perceive the intersection of technology and cybersecurity in today's business environment?
Well, when you look at what's happening globally and the way that businesses are evolving and the landscape's evolving, that interface between cybersecurity, information security, and business is paramount, because you cannot go to market with an insecure product or service. And the bigger you get in the market, the more prominent you become, the bigger your chance or your risk of being attacked. So, when you look at that, there isn't much of a what's the right word I'm looking for, alternative than aligning those two. Also, from a business perspective, the requirements on that the shareholders and investors place on the executive to be able to adequately manage and report on risk is increasing exponentially. And it's not just your traditional risks that people are worried about anymore. It is now also your cyber risk that comes to the forefront. There's a couple of organizations that already had the chief information security officers charged civilly with misleading investors. So, that increases. I don't see that changing. I actually see it getting more prevalent and more prominent.
Yeah. So what are the key technological trends that are shaping the current business environment, and how do they impact business growth?
Well, obviously right at the forefront is artificial intelligence and machine learning. We've seen this now through things like ChatGPT, all the AI models coming in. The thing with it is that because it's learning models, it's going to do what you teach it. So again, you need to have that, you need to teach it the right things to get the information out. But that's what's driving business now. I mean, we're looking at ways of making things run smoother, quicker, faster with less. You have got a lot of robotics coming into the supply chain. You have got your interactions with people is more based on AI machine or AI bots. So there's a lot of movement towards that space. Then obviously in the services industry, you still got all the normal stuff. But I think that the big ones right now is AI ML, and then obviously leveraging things like your 5G technologies, 6G technologies, and then looking at your quantum and post-quantum environments.
Yeah. So could you shed some light on the importance of cybersecurity in today's business landscape, especially when it comes to leveraging these technologies for driving business growth?
Sure. Yeah. Like with everything, you've got three ways of doing it. You can not do it, you can do it quick and dirty, or you can do it right. So if you go for the first two, you run a risk. The thing that my position on cybersecurity, information security within a business is that the information security team isn't supposed to say no, as in no, you're not doing it. They're supposed to say no, as in know what you're doing. And there it is a collaborative journey between business and information security to forge that path forward. Because, it's all product service dependent, but at the end of the day, customers are going to gravitate towards an environment where you are providing them with a secure, reliable service. They obviously want reliability, they want speed of execution, they want a great great end user experience, but all of that in the background needs to be secure and safe. If you don't provide that, then you are going to run a real life risk of starting something fantastic and it's not going to get the uptake that you want. I mean, I can equate all of these things towards, let's use the automobile industry, which is, I think everybody knows. So when you look at things like self-driving cars and AI world inside an automobile vehicle or into an automobile, you've got would you rather go in a vehicle that you know is safe and secure and that a hacker is going to battle to get to, or something that a 2-year-old with a remote control can get in? And that's the mindset. I mean, if you think about that going forward in terms of the way that we do business and linking information cybersecurity right at the top to your chief operating officers, your chief business officers, commercial officers, that type of thing, and you've got those synergies in the top level, then that's where we need to be. And that is how we're going to take the businesses to the next level, because security is now a fundamental in anything that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's crucial to recognize that cybersecurity is a foundation upon which all technological advancements should be built in. Yeah.
Yes. It should be part of the concept. It should be part of the initial phases of developing something, versus where a lot of businesses traditionally put this right at the end, where they try to secure it post-build. You now need to build secure right from the concept. You need to start building in the secure, with the secure foundations, yes.
Yeah, so it's a cybersecurity framework has to be there.
Yes.
So balancing innovation and security can be quite challenging for organizations. How can businesses effectively balance the need for innovation with the imperative of maintaining strong cybersecurity measures? If you can throw some light.
Yeah, well, look, that's a very difficult question, because there's not a one-size-fits-all answer to this. When you look at it's your risk-based question that you need to ask yourself. How much risk am I willing to accept, and what is it going to cost me to bring that risk into a level that is acceptable, not just for me, but product-wise, public-wise. And that's the mindset that you need to go into, because the cybersecurity landscape changes daily. Everything that we face today is tomorrow either more relevant, not relevant, or has changed. And the only way of actually getting to that is to have that resilience mindset. And the resilience mindset talks about how long or how quickly can I recover from an event, and how long can I withstand an event. Now, that's the key. As every single business is going to have a very different appetite for all of this, and that is where we need to get to, is to have that conversations and understanding of exactly what is it that the business can absorb, willing to absorb, and then finding the correct balance in what that countermeasure should be. I get asked quite often, so what's the magic sauce? What's that X factor? What do we do? Give us a one-liner, and it's impossible. I mean, if you compare two businesses that do exactly the same thing, let's use mobile network operators. At its core, everybody does exactly the same thing. They provide you with a handset, mobile broadband services so that you can get to the internet and so on. But the business cultures, the business operating models, the people driving it, the end goals, all radically different. And the way that you defend those organizations and get that product to market, that balance that you need differs from organization to organization. But I would go with, understand your risk, understand what it is that you want to achieve, have open and honest conversations with your information security teams, have them part of the journey, not just part of the end. That could get you to a bit more of a balanced environment.
Yeah, totally agree with you. By viewing cybersecurity as a business enabler rather than a hindrance, organizations can foster a culture of innovation while safeguarding the destination and maintaining customer trust. So I think it's indeed a delicate balance, but still achievable.
Yes. The biggest thing there is information. Cybersecurity has this perception of being the naysayer. We always tell people, stop, don't do this. It's like if you watched Lord of the Rings, that scene with Gandalf standing there that said, "You shall not pass." That's not what we're supposed to do. Our job is to inform, guide, assist, because at the end of the day, you are walking alongside those people in business to deliver. And you shouldn't stifle innovation. You shouldn't prevent it from happening, because then they're going to circumvent you to get to where they want to be. What you want to do is you want to inform them. You want to assist them. You want to ensure. It's like handholding your kid the first time they cross the street, or the first 5,000 times they cross the street. That's what cybersecurity, information security leadership is all about. And that is how you incubate innovation. You're giving it a safe operating space.
Yeah. So what are some key strategies that business can implement to enhance the cyber resilience and effectively handle potential security risk?
Well, I think the at its most basic one is, you've employed somebody that you feel is the best person you could possibly get to pull that role. Trust them, listen to them, take that information, absorb it, and work together. Because the moment that you disregard somebody's opinion or somebody's point of view in something, you run the real life risk of actually dropping the ball further down the line. You need to have an environment of inclusion. You need to put everything on the table and make the best possible decision for the business and for the outcome, not for the individual. And when you get to the point where you're having those types of conversations and you've got that type of inclusion, then you've got a much better position to be able to succeed in where you want to go. Again, I mean, it's difficult. There isn't a magic bullet in this. I've got this thing where I say, it's 10% science and 90% experience that forms this, because you have built a lot of intuition into what's happening based off your background and what you've learned. And there isn't a formula that you can apply to it. You've got a formula that can guide you. And that's the way to look at it, if I sum it up correctly.
Yeah, sure. So it's like fostering a security conscious organization culture is paramount.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the current digital landscape, implementing the technologies is again challenging. So what kind of challenges usually organizations face in implementing and executing these strategies while pursuing growth?
Well, there's a lot of operational challenges that the organizations face, and there's a lot of miscommunication when they're doing this. So there's this perception that you can fix issues like that, and that's not the case. Because obviously, let's use a services-based organization to explain this, an online business, or no, better, mobile network operator, because that epitomizes exactly what I'm talking about. You've got operational requirements in terms of availability, redundancy, throughput, everything to do with mobile network operators. But you've also got a requirement to have that environment secure. Now, you've only got limited windows in which you can make system changes and system adding to that environment. So you need to do proper planning to ensure that what you're doing is the correct process, it's been tested, that you reduce the risk as much as possible. And you cannot just chop and change the way you feel like it. So when you look at things like vulnerability management, which is a big issue for any organization, within your operations environment, your actual go-to-market where you get generating your revenue, you cannot just switch it off every 5 minutes, because the customers are going to go like, no, I'm moving to another organization to get my services there. Banking, if your ATM is off every 5 minutes to have a patch loaded, you're going to quickly change banks because you want your service now, not in 5 minutes, now. And that's where we need to get to, is to understand that balance, and it all comes back to that thing about resilience and balance. How do we bring those two together in a way that is symbiotic towards the user experience? Now, usually my mind races a hell of a lot faster than what my mouth goes. So I might have also just completely lose the plot in terms of the answer. So I hope I was on track with that one.
That's quite, it was quite insightful. So, yes, so thank you, Mr. Keller, for sharing your invaluable insights on the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and business growth. It has been an enlightening discussion, and we look forward to implementing your recommendations to drive business success while prioritizing cybersecurity. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking sessions on CXOTV. Thank you.
For more updates from CXOTV, please like and subscribe to our channel.